Dark secrets, deeper betrayals. EastEnders unleashes a disturbing new chapter for Joel Marshall. A storm is brewing in EastEnders, and it's about to erupt in spectacular fashion, as Walford braces itself for one of its darkest and most disturbing storylines yet. At the heart of the turmoil is Joel Marshall, a brooding teen whose troubled past is about to catch up with him in ways no one saw coming. Since his arrival from Australia earlier this year, Joel, played by Max Murray, has given viewers more than a few reasons to be concerned. With his cool charm masking a chaotic inner world, the teen has slowly but surely unraveled in front of our eyes, and the pace is quickening. Joel didn't arrive alone. He landed in Albert Square flanked by his father, Ross Marshall, Alex Walkinshaw, and Ross's new partner, Vicky Fowler, Alice Haig, both seemingly eager to bury their past and start anew. But as is so often the case in Walford, secrets refuse to stay buried. It wasn't long before whispers of financial desperation surfaced. Vicky, clearly panicked and strapped for cash, believed that Ross's failed marriage and messy affair had drained their resources. But in a devastating revelation, it turned out the real architect of their ruin wasn't Ross, it was Joel. The teenager had secretly run up a staggering $50,000 debt, and his parents' rushed relocation to London was a desperate attempt to escape the mess he'd left behind. For a moment, it looked like things might improve. Joel managed to forge new friendships, even drawing Tommy Moon, Sonny Kendall, out of his AI-induced shell and back into the real world. He seemed to be stabilizing, even heroic, as he bravely defended Amy Mitchell, Ellie Dad, from a hammer-wielding drug dealer who crashed her party. But beneath the surface, Joel's demons were far from exorcised. His budding relationship with Avani Nandra Hart, Aaliyah James, is now at the center of a spiraling tragedy. Avani, still reeling from a harrowing and invasive strip search at the police station, has been visibly struggling. Emotionally raw, she has turned to alcohol and weed in an attempt to dull the pain. Sensing her distress, Joel offered her weed and suggested they meet up privately. But what happened next marks a shocking descent into manipulation and betrayal. Just before meeting Avani, Joel and Tommy interrupted a vulnerable heart-to-heart she was having with Barney Mitchell, Lewis Bridgman. In a move that quickly turned juvenile mischief into something far more disturbing, the boys cranked up loud music, disrupting the moment. Avani and Barney exited, and then came an act that crossed a chilling line. With the room to themselves, Joel pulled out his phone and began streaming pornography, encouraging Tommy to watch and learn how to be intimate with a woman. The twisted suggestion took an even darker turn when Barney returned and caught them, only to hear Joel casually suggest that Avani might be willing to reenact what they were watching. The implication was as gross as it was dangerous. When Avani re-entered, unaware of the vile conversation, she found the two boys fighting. Barney, trying to protect her dignity, was left rattled, while Joel continued playing the caring boyfriend. Later, in the quiet aftermath of the fight, with an empty house around them, Avani invited Joel over. They slept together, and he reassured her with hollow words, claiming she meant a lot to him. In today's episode, their tryst continued, until Ross and Vicky walked in to discover the young pair hurriedly getting dressed, shocked and confused. But what's coming next is far more disturbing than anyone expected. In a heart-stopping twist, viewers will soon discover that Joel secretly recorded one of their sexual encounters, without Avani's knowledge or consent. And in a moment that will undoubtedly shake the square to its core, he decides to show the footage to Tommy. As the harrowing truth comes to light, the impact will be seismic. Avani's trauma, already raw and unresolved, is about to be compounded by a fresh wave of betrayal. Joel's mask is slipping, revealing a young man not just struggling with personal demons, but actively feeding them in increasingly sinister ways, and while Vicky reels from the full extent of Ross's financial lies, another, far darker secret threatens to destroy everything. EastEnders has never shied away from exploring difficult, timely topics, but with this explosive new arc, the soap is diving headfirst into one of its most harrowing storylines in years. Brace yourselves. Joel Marshall isn't just troubled. He's dangerous.